All right, I just want to say this real quick to my Roman Catholic conservatives out there. You all need to get your head out of your ass as quickly as possible and realize that with the election of Pope Leo, you have Pope Francis 2.0. And as much as you may not like that idea, as much as you want to think optimistically, you got to actually be in the reality and realize what you're dealing with so you can address this very, very quickly. Look, news out of Pope Leo's office is that Pope Leo will continue the same-sex blessings that Pope Francis put in place. That is really big news because a lot of people have been trying to figure out where is Pope Leo going to fall on this issue, and it appears as though he's going to follow suit with Pope Francis. That is very important to realize. And look, the amount of Catholic denial that is out there right now is maybe unprecedented. The ideas that, well, we're the Roman Catholic Church, we're beyond what happened to the Protestant Church. Look, I'm an Episcopal priest, but I love the church as a whole. And you may draw strong distinctions between the Protestant and Roman Catholic Church or the Orthodox Church, but I don't. To me, we are brothers and sisters in Christ, and I care about what happens in the Roman Catholic Church just as I care about what happens in the Protestant Church as well as the Orthodox Church. We need to come together. We have more in common than what separates us, and we need to be united on that. Now, here's the issue. Look, the Episcopal Church sailed down this road a long time ago. We're way down the river on this. Presbyterians are way down the river on this. Lutherans are down the river on this. Methodists aren't even down the river. They're sitting in a swamp somewhere on this issue. Like, this has created massive issues in the church, and no church has come out of this well because we've all caved. And in caving, what we ended up doing was compromising our principles. And when people look at the church, they don't see the principles that we're supposed to stand on. What they see is churches that have given in. And nobody wants to be a part of that. The Roman Catholic Church has been that one church that has not caved on these things, but you all are moving towards that, and you need to be aware of that. Stop putting on the blinders saying, I don't see it. Open up your eyes and realize where you are moving. Look, my name is Reverend T. I am the unrefined priest, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the thoughts of Father Leo. I watch his videos. I generally enjoy his insight, but this video just kind of threw me over the edge. The amount of denial and unnecessary confusion that he's throwing into this is frustrating to me. So I'm going to play it, and then I'll have some comments after I play some clips here.
And their arms are folded as such, which is at least an American local small t tradition that says, I'm not receiving communion, can I get a blessing instead? They come up individually. You offer them a blessing. You don't know the reason why they're not receiving communion, but they, in their own mind, know well enough, I'm not worthy to receive the Eucharist sacramentally, but I can at least receive some sort of blessing from the church in the same way.
All right, I just can't let that slide. The first thing that I need to address here is the idea that they're not worthy to receive communion. Just being very clear, none of us are worthy to receive communion. None of us go up to that railing in a manner in which we are worthy to receive communion. And it drives me nuts when people talk about some people not being worthy, which means that other people are worthy. And that's just not accurate. It's not theologically correct, and it communicates the wrong idea of communion. We all come forward to the railing unworthy. None of us is worthy. And the fact that God meets us in that place is grace. And it's grace because we are not worthy to be there. So I just had to bring that up because he said that they're not worthy. None of us are worthy. So that has nothing to do with the topic. But let me keep going here.
Someone walks by me after Mass and they say, Father Leo, can you bless me? I don't exactly always know why, but I offer them a blessing. This is what Fiducia Supplicans tried to do, is to say that someone might be in an irregular marriage. Can I at least offer a blessing for the people in this irregular marriage? The technical answer is yes, you can. What has happened, sadly, was that headlines, lack of nuance, lack of pastoral experience, and perhaps even theological bias motivated by political inclinations turned this into a gay marriage debate. And
no. None of that turned this into a gay marriage debate. What you're doing turned it into a gay marriage debate. And the example you gave is absolutely ridiculous. What he's doing is he's comparing the same-sex blessings to somebody coming up for communion to receive communion, and instead of receiving communion, they want a blessing. That is not the same thing as blessing a same-sex marriage, because you are blessing an individual when they come up for communion. But when you are blessing a same-sex marriage, what you are doing is you are blessing them as a couple, as a unit. You are saying that we recognize that these two are married or in union together, and I am going to offer a blessing, not an individual blessing for each one, but a blessing for them as a couple. That is what turned it into a gay marriage debate, because that is what you are doing. Like, you can't pretend that you're not doing that and say, this has nothing to do with blessing same-sex marriage. It has everything to do with it. You may not be performing same-sex marriages in your church yet, but what you are doing is that after they've gotten married at the courthouse, you are blessing them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit as a couple. And he's even going to go through later in this video, and he's going to talk about the sorts of blessings that he would give to them. And it is as a unit, because that is what you are doing. The confusion is that you are pretending that you're just blessing them as individual people. That's not what you're doing. And you need to be very clear in what you are doing. And that is why people have turned this into that. And that is why conservatives are frustrated. And that is also why liberals are rejoicing. You have to ask yourself, when you put forward ideas and all the liberals jump up and cheer, you have to ask yourself, why are they cheering? Because they know what this means. And the conservatives know what it means. The Protestants know what it means, because we already went down this road. Everybody knows what it means except the people in the actual church. They're pretending that that's not what they're doing. But it is exactly what you are doing. There's no way to not do that. You can't pretend that that's not happening, because it is happening. So let me keep going with this video here.
we clearly know that Pope Francis had tremendous compassion for people who were in same-sex relationships or who struggled with same-sexual attractions. Anyway, the document signed by Fernandez and his deputy, Monsignor Armando Mateo, and approved by Pope Francis, stressed that such blessings could not take the form of a liturgical rite and did not imply formal approval of irregular unions. In other words, Fiducia Supplicans didn't want to create a ceremony, didn't want to have people come into the church. It could be on the street. It could be like, hey, a gay couple comes up to say, hey, Father, can you give me a blessing? What am I supposed to do? Say, no, not at all. I would simply say, may God bless you. And if you go back to my video previously, you'll see that perhaps I would even pray in a certain way, that they will love each other with the pure love that God has for them, that they will grow in holiness, that they will grow in chastity, that they will not use each other or see each other as objects, but rather see each other as a gift from God, and your gift to the other should be in a desire to help the other become a saint. That's what kind of like...
Are you not asking for God's blessing on this marriage? That is exactly what you are doing. You are going to God and you are saying, God, I'm asking that you pour out your blessing on this marriage. This marriage that we don't even think that you approve of, but we want you to pour out all your blessings on this couple. It is exactly what you are doing. And you're pretending that it's something else. And every time he talks about it in the singular form. Like they come forward and they ask, would you bless me? No, what they're asking is, would you bless us? Would you bless our union together? Would you bless our marriage together? They're not asking for individual blessings. And even when you talk about it, you don't talk about it like, John, I'm going to bless you, and then let me come over here and bless Luke. No, you are addressing them as a couple. This is the road that you are down, and you're pretending that you're not. And you're acting like you're mystified that conservatives are frustrated that you're doing this. There's good reason for them to be frustrated that you're doing this, because they've seen this before. They've seen it play out in all of the other Protestant churches. And again, if you think because you're Roman Catholic that you are somehow above all of this, you are mistaken. You are not above this. And the fact that you've elected 2 liberal popes in a row just shows me that you are going down this road. This is a road that you are going down, and you need to be aware of it. So take the blinders off. Stop pretending that you're not doing this, and just be honest and say, how do we correct this? Because here's the truth of the matter. Pope Leo is pretty young compared to most popes. He's going to be pope for a very long time. And if you don't address this early on, if you don't make sure that we're not going to stand for this, that we're going to fight you and push you on this every single way in every instance, then you are in for a long road. And by the time he retires, you will not recognize the Roman Catholic Church. That is my warning. My name is Reverend T. I am the unrefined priest, and I'll catch you all in the next one.